I've never got a diagnosis from a doctor, but it's an old stream meme for me to take autism tests. Like, I prefer to do things on my own rather with others, definitely agree. I like being with people online a lot. I hate playing, like, single-player games, but I know that's not what it's asking. Another autism test, yikes. They fucking asked for it. I didn't even do this by my own request. Were you not happy with yesterday's results? I don't know. They fucking asked for it. Like, what else are they gonna watch? Do you want to watch this? Random setting if my daily routine is upset or changed. Yeah, I don't know. Let's speed through it. Let's do a speed run. I can tell someone is talking to me is getting bored. No, I have a lot of trouble telling. It makes me worried. Alright. Oh, look at that. 30. Fucking who would have thought? I literally just aced the autism test, so... Hopefully you guys can stop fucking asking me to take autism tests. Whenever I get health insurance, which won't be anytime soon, I will go to a doctor and I'll try to get screened for autism. And I will make a YouTube video and I will title it, I am officially autistic. No, believe it or not, the people who have extremely strong political opinions about the working class are never the working class. Because the working class have more important shit to worry about than what someone in a fucking suit and a podcast thinks about what they should think. Take a political compass. If you're auth-right, you get banned off Twitch. I'm not auth-right. I've taken a political compass test and I am, I would not say I'm right-leaning. I think political compasses just are not as nuanced as people are, and it doesn't accurately explain. It can accurately explain a lot of people. I just don't think it does for me very well, because there's a lot of really, really strangely and shittily worded stuff on there, in my opinion. So according to a political compass, I am far-right libertarian. I wouldn't consider myself right-leaning. It's just... because it weighs, I think, all problems equally, and which is good when you're doing it maybe for the whole world, but there are certain topics that I think are more important than others, or more, maybe not more important, but more meta. So there's certain things like, what do you think about gay people? What do you think about minorities? What do you think about COVID? Like, that's the stuff that really matters. Like, I don't give a fuck what your skin color is. I don't think you should have more or less rights because of it. That somehow became a controversial statement, because we're in a weird place right now. I wish we could go back in the time before the media fear-mongered us into being racists again. But, what can you do? And then gay people, I also don't give a fuck. I like to not give a fuck about that stuff. I thought we, like, won. Like, I thought we got to the point where we're like, oh... we figured it out to not be assholes. Let's move on now. But no. We've got to get pissed about it again. I don't give a fuck about anything unironically. I care about some things. There are some things I kind of care about. Universal healthcare. That's something that I am debating intensely in my head. That's a political issue that I'm not sure how to think about. And it's healthy too, because that's the only core value I don't agree with the political party that I lean to the most. I don't exactly agree with the Libertarian Party in the US, but libertarian isn't just something that happens in the US, and generally libertarian ideals are something I resonate strongly with. Universal healthcare, I think, might be the only thing there. I think because my idea of it, I'm almost more of a fan of Bernie Sanders than I am any of the other libertarian candidates, because I think our government is doing far too much, far too wrong, and there needs to be a great deal of removal and like restructuring that will happen. I like people with strong character, and I like people who are genuine and aren't just like shitters. And so, like, for example, like, if I was to unironically vote for someone, it would probably been for Bernie Sanders, even if it was write-in. Almost like your enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's almost what Bernie Sanders is. But he is more effectively an enemy of my enemy than any of my allies are. Yeah, that's, Black Lives Matter, and I'll keep saying this meme because I heard it on the Joe Rogan podcast and it's fucking hilarious to me. But Black Lives Matter is a white person cult. There are certain people who look for value in their own life through extreme political action, and or even extreme political activism more commonly than actual action. And people are doing that through issues that they get very heavily invested in and blow far out of proportion. So are black people in the US equal to white people? No, they're not. But it's so close at this point that I think the correct thing is to ignore the problem, and that is actually the closest thing you can do towards finding actual equality, because then you aren't looking at them as though they are a different people. There are certain things that are odd. For example, the vaccines are rolling out right now, and then there are certain people that are saying that if you are white and you are spreading conspiracy theories about the vaccine, or you're saying you don't want to take the vaccine, you're a piece of shit and you should kill yourself. But if you're a black person and you think that you shouldn't take the vaccine, well, that's okay, because black people have been disproportionately targeted through things like testing by the government. So those sort of, which they aren't even really conspiracy theories, but neither are a lot of the shit white people are worried about too. And so it's making something a racial issue that should not be a racial issue. Especially to be like that. Well, the problem is that most black people are not pieces of shit. Like, that's the problem. Everyone is like two things right now. Oh, black people are mostly every single black person is good, and anything that they do wrong is not their fault, but it is a society that is persecuted against them that makes them do those wrongs, therefore they are relieved of all sin. And then there are certain people that think, oh, well, all black people are actually representative of that small minority of that community that's committing those crimes that certain people are trying to excuse. I want to go back to the time where I don't give a fuck what your skin color is. If you're going to rob a store with a gun, you should be shot in the fucking face. Like, what can we go back to that? Can we go, like, for example, like the bitch got shot when she was trying to get into the Capitol and she got killed? Or all the people that killed the Capitol from fucking... Hell yeah, fuck them. Kill them. I don't give a shit. But in the same way, the people that would try to, like... that were trying to, like, get into the Capitol buildings to the other places that were robbed and burned in other places, shoot them too. Because this wasn't just the Capitol thing with conservative stuff. People forget the Black Lives Matter peaceful protests happened. Fucking kill them too. I don't give a shit. Our life has real problems, and people are focusing on other things that aren't even a fucking problem. And it's sad. It's really sad. Also, like Trump. Can I please... He's not even fucking president anymore. Can we move on? Please, for the love of fucking Christ. Can we just move on? I'm so done. I got done in like 2016. Like, I was bored. I got bored of the Trump shit before he even got elected. If your government... At this point, the amendment doesn't even fucking really mean anything. Because at its core, it really is supposed to mean something that's supposed to have so that people can protect themselves from a tyrannical government. But now at this point, the tyrannical government has drones that can wipe out the entire nation in fucking 100th of a second. Like, I don't care. It doesn't fucking matter. Because you should be allowed equal arms to what the government has. But I think as an everyday household American, I should have the right to own a drone. I don't have real strong opinions about gun stuff. I think that there are cultural differences. I think that America is really big. Our population isn't that crazy. It's kind of high, but it's not that crazy. But the problem is that America is really big. Like, there are more differences between the East Coast, the West Coast, the South, and the Midwest, and the mountain region, than there is between different nations. Like, the random white people that assigned the borders, like post-World War I and those borders, there are less differences between those people significantly than there even are between other Americans. That's been extremely problematic, like, even since Civil War and shit. Just in a butt plug to Dream. That's hype. I don't know what that's supposed to represent, but congrats. Shitexpress.com. God, I don't trust that fucking link. Simple way to send a piece of shit in a box. This isn't real. Is it real? $17 counting shipping isn't that bad. Is this allowed? I feel like this isn't... Like, the post office doesn't like this. Alright, animal, is that elephant? There's horse and elephant shit. Well, legal doesn't matter. There doesn't need to be fucking more bureaucracy in the government about whether people can mail shit or not. But, like, there should be, like, a USPS policy that's like, they're gonna get real mad at you if you try to mail horse shit. We're gonna mail some weird fucking chemistry project. Why would you tell them about it? Why would you mail it also? Oh, you told them it was a joke? Oh, my post office, I don't know. So they're fucking kind of... So, like, acts, like, just noticeably different whenever because I have to go there fairly often for P.O. Box stuff. And, like, I know they speak to other people like normal, and then as soon as they talk to me, they act different. Like, I think they might think I'm retarded. Because also, like, usually there'll be someone dealing with all the customers, then whenever I come up, some other guy will come from the back and deal with me. So I'm not actually, like... But I've never done anything crazy. I don't even send anything off. I just pick up packages. Like, I'm kind of socially awkward, but, like, I don't think I'm retarded. Sometimes I think people think I was retarded. Like, I was at the grocery store the other day, and I think they also thought I was retarded. I have, like, a lot of weird autistic stuff. Like, I used manners too much. Like, I end almost every sentence with sir or ma'am or thank you or please or combinations of all of them. And then I kind of just speak like a robot. I don't have a problem with speaking. I just, like, to me, my brain, it doesn't... talking to people isn't natural in public. Like, I always, like, think of what I say before I say it, and I use, like, the same 3 sentences to everyone in person, and I never, ever, ever do small talk. If anyone tries to do small talk with me, I'll just kind of, like, do a slight grin at them, and, like, nod my head and then not answer. I don't like thinking about what I have to say, and so I just have, like, I solved language. I just figured out, like, the same 4 or 5 sentences I can use in public, so I don't have to worry about anything else. I think you might be doing the same thing I maybe do, where, like, people don't actually really give a fuck, and then just read too far into it, because you know that's a, like, a social misstepping you have, or whatever, so you think way more about it than they ever do. Because, like, the thing that I also notice is that whenever people, I think they're doing the thing where they think I might be a bit retarded, they'll, like, raise their voice, like, their pitch will raise, and, like, their volume a little bit. Like, I was getting Chinese the other day from the grocery store, because they have, like, a little Chinese takeout thing. And originally she was just, like, just kind of normal speaking, and then after I said yes ma'am for the 3rd time in a row, after she said something, and I'm pretty sure she's younger than me, so people usually kind of feel a little weird when I say ma'am or sir if they're younger than me, especially because people usually think I'm in my, like, 30s. So she started eventually being like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, her energy, it was, where it's like, it doesn't feel natural what she's talking to me right now. And that maybe because I don't sound natural at all. I don't know. I remember one time a doctor asked me, like, hey, do you think you might be autistic? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I think I said for my literal, maybe I was actually, I'm thinking about it a lot. Maybe I was actually asked if I was autistic quite a bit. I remember I used to have, like, a response where it's like, oh, I'd have no benefit in a diagnosis to it, because it's not like autism is something you can medicate. I think actually quite a few doctors asked me if I was autistic. Huh. Yeah, when I was younger... Fuck, I think I'm autistic. When I was younger, they started making me not take the tests with the rest of the class. They started making me sit in the hallway to take my tests, because they thought, like, it would help my anxiety. Or, like, I eventually had, like, a room where they would, like, near the principal's office that was empty that they would bring me to because the hallway was, like, embarrassing or whatever. But for me, sometimes I can get, like, so absorbed in a conversation that I don't really properly process that I'm walking. So I can, like, walk into things. I'm extremely clumsy. And I, like, won't look for my surroundings when I'm talking to people. And I'll bump into shit or, like, bump into other people and stuff. I do that pretty bad. I have to memorize the layout of my house, and it's something I did when I was younger because I saw Sandlot and I thought the blind black guy at the end was kind of cool. I would always memorize my entire house with my eyes closed, and that also helped me stop running into walls, because if I'm paying attention to, like, I'm thinking about something, or, like, maybe I'm looking at my phone or whatever, I'll, like, bump into walls, but I need to, like, memorize the paths I take through the house so I don't bump into stuff. You've been walking on low poly rooftops last 2 or 3 streams. How do you do this? I'm not walking on low poly rooftops. I'm talking to a Twitch chat. For me, like, this is the first time I even, like, mentally registered the game since I started streaming.